The temptation came as it always does. The enormous consequences of saying yes to this temptation seems to have gotten lost in the projected delight of self-indulgence. Let me make sure that you get this letter A of my outline. The enormous consequences of saying yes to this temptation seems to have gotten lost in the projected delight of self-indulgence. And that's the way temptation is. It is brought to us as a delight, self-indulgence. And the devil has a way of so designing temptation that it becomes so enticing. So much so that we forget the consequences of disobeying. There are always consequences when we disobey God. There always are. It may not come today or tomorrow, but disobedience, disobeying God always comes knocking at our door. Isn't it strange how blind we can be? Most of the time we know the consequences of doing wrong. I suppose it's the selfishness of us. The consequence, the delight of self-indulgence. Man, woman, and serpent all involved in bringing to an end something so perfect and wonderful that could not be replaced. The man, I ate it. The woman, I ate it. The serpent, no answer. Yesterday in our Hebrews class, we talked about the Old Testament period of time. The Old Testament period of time was a long period of time of man trying to get back to God. I have found in reading, especially the prophets of the Old Testament, sometimes it's difficult to read some of these Old Testament prophets. There's 5 major prophets, long discourses. Then you have the 12 minor prophets. But there is one subject that you'll find repeatedly throughout the 17 books called the major and minor prophets, and you'll find idolatry, the dominant sin of people. Idols. They had to have idols. Why? Why was it so necessary for them to have these idols? Because of the need of trying to find a God. So they would make gods with their own hands out of stone and wood, maybe precious stones, and declare that something that they had made with their own hands, this is my God. This is how foolish man can become in his search for God.